Hello, lovelies. How are you today? So I thought this week's video would be a talking session. So can we talk? This weekend marks our 6-month timeline for being in our new home. I can't believe how fast that 6 months has gone by with us being in the house. Not to mention that at the end of next month, as a matter of fact, Memorial Day, it will be a year since we left Maryland and moved to Pennsylvania. Now, that right there is a surprise in itself. I tell you, that time has gone by so fast now that we're on the other side. Now, when we were living in our temporary quarters, waiting for the house to get here, waiting for stuff to get done on the land, and waiting, for the permits and everything. Now, that clock was ticking by slow. That was going by slow. And initially, when we moved to Pennsylvania, we thought it would be 2 months, no more than 3 months. And come to find out, we were there from, in our temporary quarters, we were there from the end of May until October. So what's that? The 5th month to the 10th month. So 5 months. So let's say our stay time there was double than what we anticipated. But that just goes back to reason that you should allow yourself extra time because nothing goes on schedule. Nothing. So basically, I just wanted to talk about our experience in the new home, since this is the first time of us living in a manufactured home, how we liking it, how things are coming along, and so on. If anything we would do different or change or stuff like that. So we still love our home. I really, really love it. I love the size of it. I think it's the Goldilocks home. It's just right. It's just the right size. We just have just enough space for us because right now our youngest son is staying with us, and probably in another 2 years he'll be gone. So then it'll just be me and my husband. So again, it will be just the right size house for he and I. And I love the fact that it only takes me an hour and 15 minutes to clean house from top to bottom, front to back. I love that. At my former house, it took me about 4 hours, and it was still stuff left undone. That's all the steam I had mustered was 4 hours, and then I tapped out. Um, but yes, I love the house. Um, we are currently we pretty much got everything situated on the inside of the house. That's all set. Right now, since uh the first day of spring, officially. So we're outside. We started outside about 2 weeks ago. So we're planting flowers and stuff like that, getting the outside together. So we probably got maybe about 2 or 3 more weeks to take care of that. And reason being because we can't work consecutive days because we get sidetracked. No, we get sidelined by rain. We'll set a schedule and say we're going to do this week, and then we're only able to do 2 days at the most, and then you got 3 and 4 days of rain. So that's what we're doing right now. But getting back to the house, is there anything that I would change or do differently? What I would change about the house is in the master bathroom, we only have one sink at the vanity. I wish we would have got two. And in the kitchen, we have the double sink. I wished we would have got one. Reason being because the two sinks, they're too small. I didn't realize that what they basically was doing was giving you a regular size sink and put, cutting it in half, putting a divider in there. Basically, is that's what, if the hump wasn't in the middle to separate it, it's just one sink. So if you got big pots and stuff, it's a tight squeeze to get them in that sink to wash them. So yeah, so I wished I would have got two sinks in the master bathroom and one sink in the kitchen. Other than that, I love the house. Love it. Like I said, it's the Goldilocks house. The right size, perfect. Just enough space. I love it. Um, we are getting used to living in Pennsylvania. That was somewhat of an adjustment because we lived in the DMV, as we call it, our entire life. So to, make that change to move to another state and leave all your family behind, that's quite an adjustment. Um, we just had our first grandchild. He turned a year old on the 21st of March. So we're not there to see all his milestones. My son is good about sending us videos and stuff. As a matter of fact, he sent us a video today of our grandson taking his first step. So that was exciting. But getting back to the house, I think a couple of videos ago, I had did a video on the punch list. And that's what we termed it when we lived in our house, in our traditional home. During that first year, you submit things that they may have missed, or, the settling of the house, and you submit it to the manufacturer and they come out and fix it. So anyway, I submitted the list on March 12th, I believe it was. And the guy didn't come out until April 16th. So it almost took 5 weeks. And then we had to call back. We called back probably 2 weeks ago to check, what's up? Is anybody coming? What's going on? Did you forget? So anyway, the gentleman that came out, John, very nice gentleman. He came out and fixed everything that was on the list. Did an excellent job. As a matter of fact, he is the same guy that came out right after probably about 3 weeks after they delivered the house. He came out because the front door and the side door wouldn't lock because I think the doors were uneven, from transporting it from the manufacturer to here. So he came out and adjusted the door so that they could lock. But like I said in one of my initial videos, I love the house. I love the design, but the stress of dealing with this particular manufacturer, it was just too much stressful. I mean, if you don't have to go through stress, why should you? But like I said, they only build the houses. They don't have a setup crew, right? So it's up to you as the homeowner to find your own setup crew. And that was very stressful for me. I think it was stressful for my husband, but more so with me, because I was the one who was doing the researching and trying to find the people and calling the people and stuff like that. So it was more stress on me. But I love the house. Um, let me see what else. Oh, the skirting, we got the K-Rock skirting around the house. And we tried to get something that looked, to make the manufactured home look more like a home. But the only thing that we didn't know, nobody brought it to our attention, that if it's not framed properly, when the wind blows, like lately, well, I don't want to say lately because we never lived here, so this might be normal for this area. But when the wind picks up like 10, let's say 12 miles an hour and up, like last week, we had 25-mile-per-hour winds. That was the most that the wind gusts we've experienced since we've been living here. But anywho, When the wind pick up, since the skirting wasn't framed the way we thought it should be framed, that when the wind hit it, you just heard this clank, clank, clank. And I'm a light sleeper, and that noise got on my first and last nerve. So what we did was we took the skirting down and put 2x4s so that the skirting, there was a frame at the bottom of the skirting, but nothing at the top. So we put something at the top in between it. Is this parallel? I think so. Horizontal. I'm directionally challenged. Straight up and down. There we go. My husband put 2x4s probably every 2 feet apart. And so the skirting had something to brace up against. So when the wind blows, it's not, blowing in the wind, so to speak. It had that 2x4 to hold it steady. And that made all the difference in the world. It was like night and day. But see, this is the thing. Now, I understand that by doing it that way, we probably would incur an additional cost because that's more work on the contractor. But at least give me the option to decide if that's something that we want to do. Don't make the decision for us. That's all I'm saying. And I would have made the decision to get it done because, like I said, that noise was driving me crazy. You just heard this clank, 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 clank every time the wind blows. But now it's beautiful. Love it. I can sleep peacefully through the night. Now, let me tell you, the first time it happened, I thought the big bad wolf was outside and I yelled, "Ain't no pigs up in here. Don't be trying to blow the house down." So, but other than that, at our 6-month check-in point, everything is going good. The heat, the heat is good. It keeps the house at a nice, comfortable temperature. I think it was almost 2 weeks ago. It was on a Monday. It was almost 80 degrees outside. So it was hot in here. And yes, I did turn on that AC. I can't sleep when it's too hot. And I do have a fan, but that fan was said, "What you want me to do?" I turned that fan on and said, "Nope, not today. It's too hot for me to work." So I could turn on the AC to cool down the house, and that works beautifully. So, oops, I forgot. Um, what day was it? I think it was Thursday. Let me see. John came here Tuesday. It was Thursday. I was going out the side door, and before I can get to the door, we have a rug right there on the floor. And I stepped on the rug and it was soaking wet. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And right by the door is the washing machine. And I'm like, well, did the washing machine spring a leak? And then I looked, I say, ain't no clothes in there. So no, it ain't that. And then I looked to the right. And as I was looking, I could hear this drip, 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 drip. And that's where the water closet is at. So I called my husband. He was in the other room. He came out. He took the panel off so he could see what was going on. And it was the valve switch to the hot water line, which was dripping. And so we called the manufacturer of the water heater because it's still under warranty. And so she was like, check this, check that, do this, do that. So after talking to her and explaining the situation, she said it sounds like a plumbing issue and not an issue with the water heater. Okay, fine. So she said, I can give you a few name and numbers of people that we deal with in your area. Okay, so she gave us the list, and I placed a call to the first one on the list because they was 0 miles away. So I'm assuming they around the corner. So we called them. Nice young man. He said that he was in the area today. I guess the actual office must be somewhere else, but they do work in the county. So it was perfect timing. So he said he would be here in 2 hours. So what we did was cut the hot water line off to stop the dripping, and we cleaned up the mess and everything. So he got here probably in 40 minutes, came in, assessed the situation, and he said he was surprised that the manufacturer company put a plastic uh, valve switch on the line. And so he said they should have used steel, stainless steel. And so we had him change out the one that was leaking. We also had him change out the valve to the cold water line. And we also had him change out the valve to um, uh, the water line to the entire house, because all of those three were plastic, and I guess it got corroded or whatever. So, yes, we could have called the manufacturer of the house because the house is still under warranty. But like I just explained, I sent them the list, our punch list, on March 12th, and the guy didn't come here until April 16th. And when we called them to fix the lock on the front and side door, it took 3 weeks. And I do believe it's because they don't have that many people working for them that do this type of service. Because again, they don't have contractors that do the setup. So, but they do have somebody that will come to your home to fix the things that are under warranty. But you gotta wait because they don't have that many. And like I said, this was the same guy. And when he came, I forgot to ask him, was he the only guy? So, anywho, we bit that bullet and paid for that, because who wants to be without water? Don't nobody want to take no cold shower. Nope. So we ran into that issue, but I said it was a blessing because we were home when it happened. What if we had went somewhere for the day? You know what I'm saying? And then because the water was on the floor, so it had came out of the water closet, that the pan that the water tank was sitting in had got full, and it was flooding over into the floor. So like I said, it was a blessing that we were home that day and didn't experience any major water damage. So that was a blessing. Um, Let me see if I can think of anything else. I talked about the siding. I talked about the water heater. I talked about the sinks. That is it so far with our 6 month check-in. Everything is going good. Like I said, it's more than enough space. Anytime it only take me an hour and 15 minutes to clean my house from front to back. I ain't got to say top to bottom no more because we ain't got no more steps. So that's a blessing. I tell you, because like I said, in our townhouse, it was a 3-level townhouse. So we had a lot of steps, and you entered the house at the lowest level. And then you had to go all the way up to the 3rd floor to the bedroom. So yes, that house served its purpose at the time because we were a family of 5 at the time. Our family downsized, so did our house, and it's the perfect size for us. Where we're living at, the area, it's a blessing. Nice, peaceful, friendly neighborhood, quiet. Love it, love it. So that's all I have for you this week. And I hope you have a blessed week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.